Miss Lenovo. I tried to give you my money, but you just wouldn't let me. Alright, hello kids, it's me again. Pull up a chair, because today, it's story time. I didn't really think I would be making this video. Well, okay, I thought I would be making some kind of video about my old computer, which cannot be seen in the frame it's over there. Not one about how it was so incredibly difficult for me to buy a new computer. And yes, while the title might be slight hyperbole, I really feel like this was one of the hardest things that I've had to do this year. Moving back home early because of COVID, staying home for like, what, 5 months? Nothing. Fine, easy peasy. This, however, what definitely feels like the most difficult thing that I've had to do all year. So let's just start from the beginning, I guess. So I've had this Dell PC. It's a Dell Inspiron 5675, a gaming computer that was VR ready, which it very well could have been in 2018 when I bought it, but now I definitely would not try to run VR on that thing. It would catch on fire. I've always wanted like my very own gaming computer. When I was younger, I would ask my parents for one, but they weren't about to buy me not even like a $500 computer, so for the longest time I thought I was out of luck. And for about, oh man, I want to say like 8 years? Was it really 8 years? I had this laptop that I would use. It was a Toshiba laptop. And you know it was a long time ago because Toshiba does not make consumer electronics anymore. Christmas 2013, I got a Toshiba laptop and that was fine for a while. It was an upgrade from my eMachines netbook, but you know, I had higher aspirations. And so I would constantly ask my parents for, hey, like, can I get a gaming computer? Please. If I do good on the ACT, can I get a gaming PC? If I get good grades, can I get a gaming PC? And the answer was always maybe. And if you know parents, then you know that maybe equals no. Maybe not for you, but for me, maybe definitely meant no. So it never happened. So I used that little laptop all the way up until my, I think freshman year of college. And so one semester, my freshman year, I was doing work study, and normally work study would go directly to my tuition, but for some reason this semester, like, it worked out so that I would be getting the money. And if you don't know about work studies, basically, you know, if you're in college and you need to like pay your tuition, you essentially just work for the school and they put that money that you earn towards your tuition. It wasn't a whole lot, but I thought it was enough. So by the end of that semester, I had about $500 to $600 saved up for a computer. And this is in 2018. And so May of that year, 2018, I came home very excited because I had saved up. It wasn't my first job, right? Because I had worked jobs before, but they just didn't pay me anything significantly. But this is the first job that I had that, you know, we actually got like a W-2 and paid every month, and it was like official. So, you know, I saw that as an achievement to actually work to earn money. I'd been researching them for months beforehand, and I had settled on the Dell Inspiron 5675. I thought it was a wonderful little computer. I thought the specs were nice, and I just liked it. And so I bought it. It took around 2 weeks for it to get to me, I guess, because they had to build it. And I excitedly unboxed my computer, ready to embark on a I really don't know. I just really like the idea of having a new computer, and I like the idea of having a desktop instead of a laptop because I could change the parts out as they become outdated, and that's why I still prefer desktops to laptops, even though they aren't very portable. But like, where am I going, you know? Because on my laptop, the only thing you can change out is like the hard drive and the RAM, and that's kind of it. And I did end up changing the RAM from like 4 to 8 gigabytes. I upgraded it, and so now I finally have this cool desktop. But I can't really remember when the first time the problem happened, but I want to say it was like a weekend when I got my first hang. And if you don't know what a hang is, it's essentially when the computer just like stops working. It doesn't like shut down or restart or anything. The screen freezes, you can't move the mouse, the keyboard doesn't work. All the lights in the computer stay on because it lit up like a cool gamer blue color. Those lights would stay on and the power light would stay on, but everything else would go off, and I would have to hold the power button down to actually restart it and make it usable again. And I think the first time that happened was when I was drawing something and I hadn't saved yet. But thankfully, the program that I was using had a pretty decent recovery feature. It's Paint Tool Sci version 2 beta, but that was the first time a hang happened, and I got so upset because I thought I had lost my drawing. And that was in 2018, and I guess at that point I didn't, for whatever reason, see that as enough of a problem to contact Dell about it, or, you know, send it back for the, well, I know I didn't want to send it back for like the warranty, is because, you know, I had waited an entire semester to buy this computer, and now I had it, and I didn't want to just like ship it off for what, 2 more weeks. I'm an impatient person, and that's gonna come up as I'm talking about all of this. I am quite impatient, so I never sent it in or made use of that warranty that it had, because it had a 1-year warranty. Well, to make a long story short, 2 years went by. I tried to figure out what was causing the hangs. I couldn't find out if it was hardware related or software related. I reinstalled Windows once around May of this year as like a last ditch effort to figure out what was going on. That didn't fix it, so it was at that point that I realized, okay, I just have to give up on this thing and like get a new computer. But of course, you know, no income, so I couldn't really do that, and I did try asking my parents again. I showed my dad this one computer on Amazon. It was like $700, and he laughed at me, so that was fun. I mean, I knew this long time ago. If you watch my Minecraft video or my Ace of Spades video or my Hava Hotel video, you'll know that I figured out a long time ago, like age 12, that my parents aren't gonna buy me things anymore. So I don't know why I tried to get my dad to buy me a new computer like this summer, because like I knew that would happen, but I was kind of out of options, and I was really at my wit's end with this computer. And if you'll remember back to my making a Sims 2 machinima for old time's sake video, I don't know why I'm doing this, my computer hung twice while I was shooting the actual machinima. It blue screened once, and it hung several times while I was actually editing the video. So it was at that point that I realized I can't really go on with this anymore. Like, I've been troubleshooting it for like 2 years. I can't figure out what's going on. I really didn't want to pay somebody to try to fix it, because I really wanted to fix this thing on my own, and it did end up making me really sad. Like, when I say in my video, my Sims 2 machinima video, that I actually shedding actual tears, I was crying at my desk because my computer didn't work, you know. I had worked so hard for something for so long, and I finally got it, and when I got it, it was a piece of garbage, and that made me upset. And so since then, I've been looking for every opportunity that I could to try and replace that piece of garbage over there. And eventually I did. When I came back to school this semester, my film professor told us of a job opportunity. It was a golf tournament, a live event. I'd never done a live event before. That's where I got this funky fresh tan line, because I was outside in the hot Mississippi sun for 5 days, and well, I mean, it was bound to happen. That ended up paying me pretty well. It ended up paying me more than I thought it would, but then like $200 got taken out in taxes, and I was like, okay, perhaps the rich are right. Ended up paying me enough to buy a new computer. I got paid on the 6th of this month. Like last time, I had been researching computers and looking at things, and you know, since I figured I'd be getting paid a bit more than I thought, I figured that I could get a pretty decent upgrade instead of just like a new computer with comparable specs to my old one. Because I mean, at this point, that Dell computer is pretty outdated. Like, its processor is weak, the graphics card is weak, like, I could do better, you know? And so eventually I settled on the Lenovo Legion something. It was like a gaming computer. But then once I figured out that, hey, I might be able to afford a better computer, I settled on the Lenovo Idea Center T540. It was the $799 model, and I thought the specs were really good. It had a decent graphics card. It had a decent processor too. I wanted to stay away from Dell this time just because of what happened with my old computer. In my research for trying to figure out what the heck was going on with that one, I realized that that specific model of computer had that problem like pretty consistently, which is probably why it's discontinued. You can no longer buy it. They have a new different model of like gaming computer that Dell sells now. And I'm not talking about Alienware, by the way, which I know that Alienware is like owned by Dell, or they operate side by side, or however that works. It wasn't an Alienware computer, it was a Dell computer specifically. And I wasn't about to go with Dell again. I mean, their customer service was fine, I guess. And they couldn't really do anything for me because my warranty was like outdated, and I have to pay like $100 to renew it, and I didn't really want to do that for no guarantee. So I just thought, you know, their products weren't so good. So I just wanted to move on to a different brand. I thought, Lenovo was a tried and true brand. Their ThinkPads are like indestructible or something. I saw they had a pretty decent computer for a pretty decent price. And while they are marketed and like branded as gaming computers, that's not my primary use for them, considering, I am at my advanced level in my film program, and I've figured out now that what I want to be is a video editor. And so I thought having a gaming computer would be better because they usually have better components overall, and they have a dedicated graphics card, which I kind of needed for After Effects because it ran like garbage on my other computer. I do game from time to time. I never play AAA games. It's usually like little baby indie games or stuff that's really uncomplicated, so I wasn't really looking for a gaming computer for that. But one thing that I saw while looking for computers is that I don't know what this trend is nowadays, but any like new gaming computer comes with like a teeny tiny SSD. I'm talking like 250 gigabytes, like 500 gigabytes, like not even close to a terabyte. If you want a computer that has like a terabyte of storage, then it's gonna cost you like a whole lot more for no reason. And I just do not understand that at all. Like, I know SSDs are faster, I guess just better overall than a hard drive, but like, is that enough for anybody? Like, come on. If this is a gaming computer that you're selling, you're advertising what AAA games that you can play on this computer. These AAA games are like several gigabytes large, and you're trying to give me 250 gigabytes to store all of that on? That makes no sense. The computer that I ended up settling on, it had like a dual system. So like, it had 1 terabyte 7200 RPM hard drive, and it had I can't remember if it was 500 or 250, I think it was 500 gigabyte SSD, which I figured having an SSD would be fine because then I can install all of my Adobe programs on them and they would run faster. So that it wasn't the dual system, that's fine. I just need at least a terabyte somewhere, So the 6th came around, I got paid bright and early in the morning, and I saw that direct deposit had gone through to my account, and I went straight to Lenovo's site to buy my brand new and improved, hopefully won't hang all of the time computer. And immediately I ran into a problem. I went through checkout, I put all of my information in, and it gave me an authorization failure. Please contact your bank. I'm like, okay. I was doing it on my phone, like in bed, so I thought, alright, I'll just wait until after class so I can actually come back, do it on my computer, maybe that'll have a difference. Same result on my computer using Google Chrome, which is important. And so I thought, okay, I really don't know what's going on here. Maybe my check didn't clear all of the way. I forgot to mention, during this time I had been grifted, scammed if you will, into trying to deposit a fake check. I was considering doing a video on that whole debacle, but in the end I just ended up looking like an idiot, so maybe not. It was a really sad process, the whole thing, and I thought that was wise. So I waited a couple of days and I try again. Google Chrome, Lenovo's website, put everything in, everything correctly. I double and triple check everything. My credit card number, my shipping address was correct, and my billing address was correct. I even tried to use PayPal, and that didn't work. I tried all of that, and I still didn't get anything. So at this point I think, okay, what day is it? It's like the 8th. I think it's time to call my bank to see what the heck is going on. So I call my bank, and they say, yeah, we see you tried to purchase this thing like 8 times, and we keep letting it go through, but Lenovo, they're just not letting it happen for some reason. I'm like, okay, that's really weird. I guess I'll call them then. And so I call Lenovo, and I don't get anybody on the phone for an hour. And listen, I know these are COVID times, things are tough, customer services are overloaded at this time, but you would think that, I called Wells Fargo, like a big national bank, and I was able to get them in like 10 minutes. I really don't know. It's pretty clear that Lenovo outsources their customer service to a different country, so that's probably why. I don't know. Either way, it took me an hour to get someone on the phone. I tried to explain what's going on there. They're just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. We don't know. Might be a glitch on our website. I don't know. And I thought, okay, I just want this computer. And the thing is, I was able to get a fat discount on this computer too. It was gonna be like maybe $900 with like tax and everything, but I was able to get it down to like $860 because not only did I have a student discount, but I found a discount code thanks to Honey, not sponsored by the way, which is why I wanted to go with them, because I was not going to be able to find a computer with those specs elsewhere at that price. So price was a big thing for me, and I just wanted to keep it at that price. They're like, okay, we don't know what's going on. I guess we'll just direct you to sales so you can purchase it there. I'm like, okay, if I have to buy it over the phone, then I just have to buy it over the phone. Send me to sales and we'll figure out what's going on. And so I go to sales, and the lady, she's nice enough, and we go through purchasing it. I give her my debit card information and my name and my email address and my physical address, and I make sure to spell out everything correctly because my first name not spelled typically, my last name is just wacky and no one knows how to spell it, so I just have to spell it for people, which is fine. It's like, that's just my lot in life, I guess. And so the sale over the phone goes through, and the lady tells me you'll get a confirmation email within a few minutes. And then a few minutes passes and I get nothing. And then some hours pass and I get nothing. And I think, okay, I really need to double check that this is actually working because something tells me that something went wrong throughout the sales process. So I call them again, and it takes another hour. And I get on the phone with sales, and they ask me for the confirmation number. I have no confirmation number because I got no confirmation email. I tell them that. I think I ended up giving them my phone number because that was one of the things that you have to give when you try to buy stuff. And he's like, oh, well, I see there's been a purchase made, but the name and the email is different. I'm like, okay, well, what is the name and the email then? And I don't want to dox myself or whatever, but first of all, they spelled my first name with an E. It was E-R-I-N instead of A-R-I-N, even though I spelled out my name with the sales lady at least 2 times. And then my last name was just completely different. Okay, so without giving away too much, my last name rhymes with a common item that you'll find on a door, and they just spelled it like that, even though I spelled out my last name. And since my email address is my first name and my last name, it was the email address that they put in there was ERIN other word at Gmail. And I'm like, that's so not what I told the salesperson. Like, okay, well, since we're here, can we at least change it? No, it was too late to change it. In fact, the order had gotten canceled because, I guess my bank canceled it because my name isn't ERIN. My last name doesn't rhyme with doorknob, but Aaron with an E, doorknob, it's Aaron with an A, or knob, if you get what I'm saying. So my bank didn't let it through because, that's not what my name is on my debit card. It was canceled and there's really nothing I could do. So that was the 8th. I had to wait until the 12th for my money to be put back in my account since the order had gotten canceled. And at that point, I thought, okay, it's the 12th, it's a Monday. I think, all right, I'm gonna try one more time on Lenovo's website. Maybe they identified a bug and they fixed it. I'm just gonna try again. Google Chrome. Doesn't work. I didn't want to try PayPal again because with PayPal it subtracted the money for I think a full day and then it put it back, and I just didn't want to wait for that. The weird thing with Amazon was that for some reason on Amazon when you put in a new card, it doesn't ask you for the billing address, and my billing address is different from my shipping address, right? Because I'm at school right now, my shipping address is my house in a different state. I thought that would be a problem, so I didn't even try Amazon on Lenovo's website. And so I think, okay, it must just be Google Chrome, right? So I go to Firefox because I had that installed on my computer. And I do everything the same again, make sure to put in those 2 discounts because I'm not paying extra. Still doesn't work. I think, okay, maybe it's just because my billing address and my shipping address are different. What if I just ship it to my house and then drive 3 hours home to go get it? I try my home address. That doesn't work either. So I think, okay, I guess we'll have to try Microsoft Edge. That's my only option at this point. So I go to Microsoft Edge, I do everything, I make sure to have my discounts, and it still doesn't work. So now I'm at my wit's end once more in relation to a computer, and I'm like, okay, do I want to roll the dice again and call sales for them to spell my name wrong again? And I thought, no, that's just not happening. I don't want to do that again. So at this point, Lenovo is just off the table. I cannot in good faith recommend Lenovo. So here's the thing, I don't doubt that they make decent computers, right? It's just that their customer service is terrible. Okay, they were trying their best, but they're having to wait an hour just to talk to somebody, and their online chat was just as bad when I got on like in the middle of the day. I believe it was Monday, because I didn't want to wait on the phone, so I thought, okay, maybe if I go to their online chat it's faster. I was like number 70 in the queue, and it took quite a few minutes, maybe like 5 minutes to get to be number 69. So, you know, you add that together and you get the total amount of time that I probably would be waiting in line. And at this point, I didn't want to roll the dice with that because I'm still on my last computer. It could very well hang and I might have to restart my computer and be back at square one. So I was like, all right, Miss Lenovo, I tried to give you my money, but you just wouldn't let me. So it's time for me to move on. At this point, I was like, am I like gonna give up? Am I just gonna like, you know, be stuck with this gross little thing over here? And it's like, I didn't want to do that. Originally, when I was looking for computers, I was gonna search on Best Buy because, again, impatient. I just wanted to, you know, drive to Best Buy and pick it up and bring it back same day. But that's not quite possible because my local Best Buy selection of goods isn't, well, good. So even if I did buy something on their website and like have it shipped to the store, it'll still take like a day. Or if I buy something on their website and have it shipped to me, it'll take like a week. So that was kind of out of the question. And so at this point, I was kind of I wasn't out of options, but it felt like I was out of options. I didn't really know what brand to go for. You know, I looked at Acer, I looked at Asus, I looked at Dell, wasn't even in consideration, so she was like out of there. I looked at HP, and I just couldn't get, you know, the same specs for a similar price, and that was just like disheartening because I thought I really got a deal there. You know, I'm sure that computer, if I were to actually purchase it, was a good deal because it was like $800, and normally something with those specs might go for like $1,000 plus, you know. And I just thought I wouldn't be able to find a good enough deal, and I wouldn't be able to get an upgrade that I had hoped for. I would just be stuck with something with the same specs, but I guess at the end of the day it would have still functioned better than my old computer. I even considered just building one, but then I realized, you know, I gotta buy all of these parts, right? And I was gonna do this before I started recording. I wanted to compare this computer that I have here with a computer that I would build to see if it would be the same price. Because, you know, all these PC enthusiasts, they're always going to tell you it's cheaper to build than it is to buy pre-built. And I think that's fishy. I don't believe it. Because not only do I have to purchase each part separately, I have to probably pay for shipping, pay tax on it, right? And then wait for it to get here. And all of the stuff probably isn't gonna get here at the same time. So it's like, okay, I don't care how easy it is. I don't care how cheap you think it is. Like, I'm working with a really tight budget here, and I just don't have time for trial and error or the money for trial and error. Like, I don't want to mess something up, like bend a pin on my $400 processor. Listen, I don't know. So don't come in my comment section saying, oh, you should have built a computer. Don't care. I just wanted a physical computer that worked here in a few days. Again, impatience. I also didn't want to spend too much. Building a computer is probably a whole lot of fun. It's not in my budget right now, so no thank you. Moving on. Eventually, I looked at, you know, some, I guess, more well-known among like gamers, but I looked at iBuyPower because like a million years ago when I watched this Twitch streamer called A Giant Waffle, which I know he's been like ostracized off of Twitch for like some scandal like some years ago. I really don't know. I haven't watched him since 2014, so I've been out of the loop. But anyways, he, I think, was sponsored by iBuyPower, and so I thought, okay, that's like a brand that I could go to. And I looked there, and you know, there is a pretty noticeable price jump between computers. Like, you'd have on the lower end one would be $6.99, and then after that you'd have one that would be $9.99, and no in between. So it's like, okay, I don't want the crappy $6.99 one, but I can't afford the better $9.99 one. So it's like, all right, let's go to a different website. And so I ended up on CyberPower's website. They had a better range of specs and prices. You know, they had the $6.99, but they also had the $7.99, $8.99, and $9.99, and so on. And so I settled on a $7.99 computer. Don't ask me what the model is. I totally forgot. I'm gonna put it up here when I remember it. But as for the specs, it has a Intel i5 10 something I don't know all the numbers. It has a NVIDIA GTX 1660 Super, and it has only 8 gigabytes of RAM, which I think is not a lot. I definitely plan on like upgrading that later. And it has a 256 gigabyte SSD where the OS is installed on and where I put, all my big like Adobe programs on, and it has a 2 terabyte hard drive, which I think is really good, especially since, doing YouTube has been eating up my computer storage. Like, I transferred all of my videos off of my old computer onto my external hard drive so I can copy all of that stuff over, and I think all of my videos, let's see, from my Ace of Spades video up until like the last video that I did, all of that was like almost 90 gigs of footage, which is kind of a lot, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I found maybe not, the perfect one that I was looking for, but it was good enough. Right off the bat, I can tell you it doesn't have enough USB ports. It's got 4 on the back and 2 up here. This feller had 4 on the back and 4 in the front, except I think 4 of those were USB 3.0 and 4 of them were USB 2.0, which is a little underpowered, I think, especially nowadays. These are all USB 3.0. I did look earlier this morning, you can buy like extra ports, obviously external and internal. I think if I do ever end up trying to put more USB ports in here, they're gonna be internal rather than external. Even all the bad stuff that I mentioned isn't really that bad. I mean, this is my second day using it. It hasn't hung, so I say that puts it a step above that thing over there. I've been pointing over here this whole time. You can't even see over there, but there's my computer's in the corner. You can also see the box back here. This thing was huge. However, before this new computer could even get to me, I ran into problems. So apparently, as per CyberPower's policy, you can't have a different mailing address and a different billing address. And if you remember what I said before, my mailing address is my college campus, that's where I get all my mail now, and my billing address is my house in a different state. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is just so stressful. I'm gonna have to search for hours and days again to try to find another computer, and it's like I was just at my wit's end once more. And so I thought, okay, there was really no way that I can finesse it. Like, I couldn't even like try to get past that page. Like, I considered, again, having it shipped to my house and then just driving home and spending some time at home, I guess. But I didn't really want to do that because it's 3 hours to get there. And also, so like, I live in Alabama, right? Apparently, Alabama sales tax is higher than Mississippi sales tax. So I would have ended up having to pay more and then having to drive 3 hours home and spending time at home and then driving 3 hours back here. So I was like, I don't want to do that. But this time, I did end up using Amazon Pay. And the fact that Amazon doesn't ask for your billing address for a card that you put in ended up working in my favor because I was able to get it. It came in yesterday. Let's see, I ordered it on Monday and it came in yesterday. I spent half of yesterday looking out of my window for the UPS man to come. It got here when it said it would. It was like Monday. It shipped Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. It was pretty fast, I would say, especially on like COVID times when the mail is like slowed down. And I thought that was great. And so here it is. Now I have it. It's white. It's your typical gamer PC. It has like a glass panel on this side, tempered glass, I guess. I got to peel off the plastic from it. That was satisfying. Of course, has the RGB fan lights on the inside. I have them set to, I guess this is purple. So this is the remote I have, right? This is she. It's got like 2 buttons that look blue, or no, it has 2 buttons that look purple. One of them, okay, this one is blue, right? This one is light blue, and then there's an actual blue button on here, which is just lighter than that. It's only slightly lighter. There's barely any purple going on there, so, I feel like us purple lovers are kind of disenfranchised in the gaming world because there's nothing purple colored like at all. I'm not really planning on buying a new keyboard, but I, out of curiosity, was looking for a purple mechanical keyboard. They don't exist anywhere. Like the base, no purple ones. You can buy purple keycaps, like no problem, but just like a base, not there. You could probably buy like a purple mouse. I did end up using the mouse and keyboard that came with it because, this keyboard, it's like backlit, fancy gamer tings, and it also has like a volume scroll wheel on it, which I think is pretty cool. Ended up changing out my my mouse from this tiny little babby wireless mouse to this one, because I think I just need to change the battery on this, but it kept cutting out and I just don't have the patience for my mouse to be skipping around. So I changed to this one. This one lights up. As you can see, I have it set on purple. I don't know if you can see it, but I have it set on purple. So yeah, I've got everything set up on here. Most of my stuff is copied over. Aside from some pretty bad hiccups, I ended up getting a new computer, and so far, after 2 days, I'm pretty satisfied with it. I haven't played any games on it except for Rimworld, which is interesting because, first of all, it's like a little tiny babby indie game, and Rimworld, it's getting there, but it's not quite optimized where it can use like all of the cores on a processor. It can only use one currently, so it's like, even if you do have a fancy pants 28,000 core processor, it can only use one of them. But I have noticed like a difference in like, I guess, the way the game runs, so there's that. I haven't really played any other games because it's been like 2 days and I've been busy. So I guess we'll see really how well this works when I start editing this video. So far I have no complaints, and really the only thing I can say from this whole experience is don't rely on Lenovo's customer support because you're going to be left just disappointed, and maybe don't buy a Dell Inspiron 5675. They're discontinued, so you can't anymore, but you know, secondhand, refurbished, you know, new on like eBay or any other like secondhand place, just don't do it. Just do not do it. Don't. And I'm kind of disappointed because I tried to go on Dell's site to leave a review for this computer, but I guess I either have to log in or they're just not accepting reviews anymore for a discontinued product. So I couldn't let out my frustrations. I think that'll be it for this video. I know in my community tab poll, you guys voted for a video about Joe Rogan and the Joe Rogan experience. I still plan on making this video, but since all of this happened, I just wanted to, I guess, make a video venting about all of this. So, you know, the Joe Rogan video is coming. I still need to do my outline on it, but you know, that's down the pipe. Twitter, Ko-fi, Twitch. Visit me on those places if you wish. And for now, I guess I'll just throw my old computer down a cliff